Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Darlene Fry, and I'm the Director of College and Career Readiness for St. Paul Public Schools. It's my honor this morning to moderate this roundtable for Secretary Perez, and we are going to start off by welcoming you to the college, which is one of our partners, and the mayor's office. And I believe the mayor gets to start off.
Well, just very briefly, thank you, Mr. Secretary, for joining us here today. We're always proud to show off the incredible partnerships that we have in the city of St. Paul. We have a great partnership between the St. Paul Public School System and St. Paul College, as well as the city and the county. We have my council members, Chris Tolbert and Amy Brenmone. This is Commissioner Tony Carter, Ramsey County Commissioner, represents this area. It's been an incredible track that we have put together for our kids to really be successful, as the president was telling you, all the different folks that we have from around. So I'm not going to blather on other than to thank you for being here, and we'll be able to jump in to the conversation.
Can I get a statement? The secretary of the statement?
Do you want?
Opening remarks.
Oh, okay, great. I wasn't sure who was going next. Well, hey, good morning. My name is Tom Perez, and it's an honor to be here. And Mr. President, I want to say thank you. You are a remarkable leader. Before today, I only knew you by reputation. And when I see the hop in the step of the students who are here, and I see the passion that they bring to their work, and I see the remarkable dedication of the faculty, and those are all the ingredients of success. And I see your engagement with your industry partners. That is critically important. And I then see that we not only have our college students here, but we have our high school partners, because that is what it's all about, creating these career pathways, giving students an opportunity early on to see the world and see the world of possibilities that exist. That's what this college and this institution is doing, and that's what the partnership is doing. St. Paul is incredibly blessed to have a leader like Mayor Coleman, and progressive leadership not only on the city council and but also on the county commission, that's so dedicated to making sure we have a talent development network that is aligned with what the industry needs are, that takes every student where they find them. So some students have just arrived in our nation, and we welcome them because we are indeed a nation of immigrants. Some students have lived here all your life, and regardless of what your station in life is, the world is your oyster and the sky is the limit, as long as you're willing to work hard and invest that time. There are great things going on here. And the great things that are going on here have been recognized quite recently. Just about a month ago, after a very, very intense competition, we awarded a number of grants across the country for a program that we call Youth Career Connect. And what that program is all about is connecting high school students with community college opportunities in areas that are growth areas around the country. And so when you finish these programs, you will have the really your ticket to the middle class. And there were so many worthy applicants that the decisions were very, very difficult to make. But the partnership here, and I want to again commend the school system for the work that you have been doing, career academies in finance, IT, all of these demand areas, and I can't wait to hear from the students about what you are doing in these programs, because I spent a lot of time in Washington, and I really need to make house calls. So today we're making a house call, and I want to hear from the students directly about what these programs mean to you. I can tell you that I'm thrilled to work for a president who is all about making sure that anybody who's willing to work hard and invest in your education can get ahead in life. That's really the basic proposition. My parents taught me, and I come from an immigrant family, they taught me that education was the great equalizer. And if you invest in education, you will succeed. And not only education for the jobs of today, but education that'll prepare you to evolve with the dynamic nature of technology, so that you can weather the ups and downs of the business cycle. So that's what we're going to do. You know, these programs like the Youth Career Connect and the work that you have done, Mayor, and with the school system and others, I mean, you're opening up a window of opportunity for students that I think makes St. Paul just a remarkable place to live, to raise a family, to work, and to thrive. And that's why I am so thrilled to be here today to listen and learn from you. And I'm really excited that we were able to play a small part in the investments that the Youth Career Connect program will help you to do, because we want you to be able to take it to scale, and then we want to brag about you, and then have other schools, districts do the same. So you have the ideal formula here in St. Paul of fantastic political leadership, committed people at the highest levels of the school system, instructional excellence at every level, and corporate engagement. And I've had the privilege of being with your boss in other settings, and U.S. Bank has been a remarkable partner here, and frankly, in a number of our efforts on a number of issues. And I would say most importantly, students with the drive to succeed, because that's where it starts, and that's what's most important. So thanks for having me, and I'm really looking forward to listening and learning from all of you about what you're doing. And I hope you'll tell me what we need to be doing, okay? And my question for all of the students in advance is, I'm going to be with the president next week. What do you want me to tell him about what you're doing and what this means to you? So I'll give you a little bit of time to think about that. And I want you to know I do take these things back to him, okay? I'm not just asking this for the heck of it, okay?
Well, let me just say, on behalf of our partnership, we appreciate our Youth Career Connect grant, because it will connect not only the school district, but also our Right Tracks jobs with the cities, and then also articulate it here to St. Paul College for more training. So thank you very much. We're going to start off so the panel can introduce themselves to the secretary, and then if you could just say name, your role in this partnership, and you're in school, that would be great, if that applies. Let's start with Mark.
Hello again, Mr. Secretary. Mark Langenfeld. I just graduated yesterday with a computer networking engineering program. So, I'm also 2 classes shy of getting a computer programming degree here at St. Paul College. So I'll be taking 1 class in the summer, 1 in the fall, from afar, from North Carolina, because I'm active duty United States Coast Guard, and we'll be flying on C-27s down there. But this program has given me the opportunity to come back to my home state of Minnesota, learn the skill set that I'm going to need on the C-27 aircrafts, who are very integrated with sensor suites and with electronics and computers nowadays. And I'm very happy to say that I'm now a St. Paul College alumni. So.
I'm Warren Schaefer. I'm the computer science instructor, lead instructor in computer science.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
It's the respect that the students and your co-faculty members had for you upstairs was pretty palpable.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Carlita Hurd. I got to be a part of the Right Track program last year, and I attend Central High School, and I'm also on the St. Paul Youth Commission.
One of our stars.
Yes.
Great.
Hello, my name is Crystal Stackhouse. I'm a program coordinator with Genesis Works. You actually had a chance to meet our executive director at the Champions of Change event a couple of months ago.
At the White House.
Yeah. Jeff Tollefson. And I've been with Genesis Works going on my 4th summer, and we train high school rising seniors for IT corporate internships.
That's great. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say how excited I am to be here today, because this is exactly what we've been trying to foster in St. Paul, the partnership across our district, with the city, with the college, and it really underscores our commitment as a city to lifelong learning, talent development, and most of all, economic prosperity. So this is really exciting, and thank you so much for the support of the grant and also the support actually of our government to these kinds of efforts.
Good morning. I'm Deborah Cottrell with U.S. Bank. I'm the Diversity and Inclusion Project Manager, and I manage the internship programs with the bank. And U.S. Bank is proud to have 10 Right Track interns this summer, and we're the largest employer for Right Track this summer.
You're very much on the right track. And will you please give your best to Richard? Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Good
My
morning.
name is Chris Somerville, and I am from Como Park Senior High School, and I'm working as the Academy of Finance Coordinator. And we are just thrilled to receive this grant. I'm teaching the first set of ninth graders. We're hoping to build a program to be 9th through 12th graders. Academy of Finance students will definitely be using Right Track, Genesis Works, and thank you for everything.
Great. How long have you been teaching?
10 to 15 years.
Great.
Hello, Ms. Secretary. I'm William Toney. I am a student at Como Senior High School. I'm a 9th grader. I am a student of the Academy of Finance program, and I also have worked with Right Track.
Great. Excellent.
Any other questions you have?
Oh, excellent. I do want to start. So tell me about what have you learned in Right Track?
With Right Track, it's kind of a side sort of job. It's I work with the Science Museum in Minnesota. And we we separate into different crews, and what my crew mainly focuses on is the technology aspect and the community. And so we work to bring technology to solve community issues, usually around the different libraries that we teach at, which are Rondo Library and Arlington, as well as, I'm blanking on it right now. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we do different workshops there, and we bring project-based learning to the libraries.
Okay. And now, Carlita, I think you said something about involvement in a youth council?
Yeah, the Youth Commission.
Youth commission.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What do they do?
The Youth Commission, we are a subcommittee of 3. We have one that's working on sex trafficking, one that's working on bullying, and my subcommittee, we're working on Metro Transit. And my subcommittee, what we're trying to do now is get subsidized passes for students to get to school, mostly aiming for low-income students. And we're going to be splitting that up between Central and Harding because they're most bus-friendly. And we are able to get 50 passes this year. So what we'll have them do is sign up for the bus passes to be able to attend like after-school activities because we are studying the academic benefits of that.
Wow. And what grade are you in?
I'm an 11th grader.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be an engineer.
What type
Wow.
of engineer?
William, what do you want to do when you grow up?
I would like to be a biomedical engineer.
Wow.
With an Academy of Finance background.
Yeah.
Well, I got this guy over here who calls himself an alum, but he's still going here because he understands that learning is lifelong. When I started college, I won't tell you when that was, my mother started college the same year because she didn't have the opportunity to go to college as a kid and always wanted to, and I was the youngest of 5, so she understood that learning was lifelong, and took her 8 years to get through for a number of reasons related to the fact that she was a single mom, taking care of some family responsibilities. But, Mark, learning is lifelong, and places like St. Paul College provide those great opportunities. Mark, what do you think the piece of paper you got yesterday is going to do for you when you go back to North Carolina and the Coast Guard? How is it going to help you?
Well, we're in a situation in the Coast Guard right now where technology of computers being integrated into our sensor suites are very new, and it's a skill set we don't exist yet. We have electricians and mechanics, and so, electricians drew the short straw because we're the closest to computer type understanding. So either way, it's been a great opportunity for me to move forward, being one of the first few who are gaining these skills and hopefully going to revolutionize the way that we do maintenance on our aircraft, and also the way that we do surveillance, search and rescue, and all those sorts of missions that we have in the Coast Guard. So I'm hoping in the future to apply to a few officer positions and that sort of stuff. And I imagine that this will be a pretty good line item for me.
Couldn't agree more. Wow. Professor, as you watch graduations, those are always, I would think, fun and
Happiest day of the
fulfilling
year.
days.
The happiest
What were you
day.
thinking yesterday? And I guess, let me be slightly more specific. As you look at where you were a few years ago, where you are now, where have you come, and where do you still want to go?
As a department?
As a department.
As a department? Oh, the biggest concern I have is my retention. I get the retention of students inbound. So you saw the reconstruction of the curriculum up there. The idea I picked up from some friends in England was to fundamentally change the introduction to the material to engage students in building immediately. So deferred gratification is great. If you're trained for deferred gratification, you can engage a learner much more quickly and get them more committed to learning if they can have a real tight feedback loop on seeing what they're learning applied. So I think that over the last 3 years, we've moved more toward that model, direct application of theory.
That's great. Deborah, could I ask you, what's the value proposition for U.S. Bank? Why have you invested so much time, and what's the message for other corporate partners here in St. Paul and the cities and really across America?
Well, certainly it's, giving back to the community and really transforming these students' lives. But also we're really looking at building our diverse pipeline, and I think that that's an opportunity as we move forward too. So as we connect with these students in high school, how do we keep that connection so that they have a great experience, remember U.S. Bank once they're out of college and looking at their professional career and where they're going. So, certainly.
Enlightened self-interest.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can I just add, one of the things that makes U.S. Bank so special, I think, is Richard's own personal story.
Absolutely.
Because Richard, now I think he went to a community college, but he worked in a bank while he was going to college all the way up. So he's in these rooms with all these CEOs that have all the pedigrees, but he's the one that actually worked his way up and into the highest rank. So I think that's one of the reasons why he's embedded. So even before he got involved in Right Track, U.S. Bank was a huge supporter of the Step Up Youth Summer Jobs Program over in Minneapolis as well. He's been just, the whole corporation's been an incredible partner.
If I could share one anecdote to bear that out. We had a meeting roughly 3 months ago at the White House with the president, and about 30 CEOs from across this country to discuss a very important issue, which is the plight of people who are long-term unemployed, who've been out of work. And I suspect that folks in this room, I know I have friends who, through no fault of their own, were in the wrong place at the wrong time and had trouble getting back on their feet. And so one of the things we wanted to do was engage corporate America to figure out what can we do, what reforms can we undertake. And Rich was a very important participant in that meeting, and he shared something, and I don't think this is a state secret, so I hope I'm not betraying it as I look into a camera. But they were one of roughly now about 400 companies who have signed a pledge to become a best practice employer and examine everything they're doing to ensure that they are providing opportunities for long-term unemployed to get back on their feet and become gainfully employed. And he shared the fact that historically one part of the application process at U.S. Bank was they do a credit check, which is a common practice in many employment settings. And as he was reflecting on the plight of the long-term unemployed, he appreciated the fact that somebody who's been out of work for a year and a half or more, chances are you're making tough choices that don't have any reflection on your character or your creditworthiness, but they reflect the fact that you've got bills and you don't have enough money. And as a result, they've revamped their practices because they realized that that practice was screening out people who were qualified. And that's an example of corporate responsibility and something that it was what I would call kind of an aha moment for a lot of other folks in the room, because you could see them turning around, talking to their staff. You know, I didn't hear the conversation, but, you know, memo to file. And so I really appreciate that sort of leadership, because these folks are suffering, and we need to provide those help. And these are parents, and these are workers, and these are talented people. And so I really appreciate that. Yep.
Speaking of long-term
Yeah.
skills, having
Yeah.
those skills early, William, can you tell the secretary what you're going to do next year at Como as part of the Academy of Finance?
Well, with the Academy of Finance program, we're a four-year program. Each year we do a different elective leading up to high school, where afterwards we can get 16 credits towards St. Paul College. And I also was able to get a job at our very own Cougar branch at the credit union, at St. Paul Credit Union. And we were the first branch in St. Paul. We were the first school in St. Paul to have their very own credit union branch.
I'm having a problem. I'm having the following problem, Liam. Okay, I'm still processing what you told me at the outset, which is that you are a ninth grader. I want to see proof. Okay? Because
Do you see why I chose him today?
I am a father of a senior and a sophomore and a sixth grader, and I love them dearly. I really do. But both William and Carlita, I am just struck by your remarkable thoughtfulness, your maturity, and the fact that you're aiming high. You know, that is the most important thing that you can do, and that's what I love about the guy to my right. I mean, he's challenging everybody who comes through this school to aim high, and it's not just a challenge; it's a challenge that's backed up with the people like Warren Schaefer and others who provide the educational foundation that enable you to develop those skills. And so I appreciate this. And I'd just be curious, Mr. President, you know, how did you come about this vision? And as you reflect, I'd like to ask you the same question I asked Mr. Schaefer. As you reflect on, you know, where the school was 5-10 years ago, where you are now, and where you want to be 5 years from now. Share your reflections.
Well, we are a place that we have students from all different walks of life. I call it the beautiful tapestry of humanity. And when they come to us, this is their first experience in the community college, sitting in higher education. So the value-added proposition is, what's the return on investment for their time in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months? And we couple that with hands-on through actual hands-on experiential learning that is industry validated, is supported by industry. The students going out with health degrees, they have to be board certified. The students going with manufacturing, they have to look at NIMS skills, pass the test. The students coming in with finance, we have our business and finance program is nationally accredited and certified. So the question is, what do we need to do to buy down the tuition for the students coming in? As you heard William talk about, the 16 credit is 1/4 of his journey here. And if we can buy down on the tuition for the students from the finance aspect of it, where they don't go into debt, they have a better chance of trajectory to be successful citizens and help the economic development. From the other end of the spectrum, we look at newcomers, the new Americans coming in, who've been in refugee camps 3 to 5 years ago, and they're hard workers, hardworking individuals. Family is very important to them, but we have to provide them the first opportunity with a certificate or diploma further on to Associate of Applied Science. In a nutshell, we have to be nimble. We have to constantly re-engineer what we do here. We can't just go on for 10 years of the same product line. We'll have lots of lost leaders. So with that aspect of it, we have to be dynamic. We have to constantly partner with high schools, with community-based organizations, with the city of St. Paul, with all of our business and industries to figure out what they need so we can produce them the workforce that they need in order to be contributing members of the community and also help the tax base. Because sooner or later, students have to pay back on these loans and the funding that they receive. So for us, and my vision is, how do we constantly stay dynamic, relevant, and have a great return on investment for our students? Because they could get that education from 20 other institutions in this city. This city has, after Boston, the biggest number, the largest number of educational institution, as well as third or fourth baccalaureate degree granting capacity. So it has the intellectual capacity of near Boston, Massachusetts. So what do we need to do to stay relevant? We have to constantly stay on our toes, work with businesses, industries, and constantly encourage the students that they are the reason we're here. This is the gateway to economic prosperity, middle class, the trajectory to middle class, those are the steps they have to take. So if we can cut the number of credits that they have to take by working with them closely with Genesis Works, with public high schools, with community-based organizations, we have the tapestry and we've fulfilled our promise, which is you start here, you can go anywhere. So it's a long, roundabout way of answering your question. And what drives me here, we're into re-engineering human lives every day. I'm by trade an engineer, and I hated to be an engineer because I was basically designing solid objects. But here, I see humanity in motion. And whatever programs we provide with faculty commitment to the staff provides that lifeblood of our state. City of St. Paul, Minneapolis will be the fastest growing city with people of color and diverse. And if indeed we do not provide them the training, those talents will become liability for the state. So it behooves on us to work closer, have a meaningful partnership, and be able to deliver on our promise for our students.
Thank you for those inspiring words. My second last question, and then I'm going to go back. Remember the question I asked you guys? Okay, so I'm giving you a 3-minute warning. But my second last question, I know for the DOL folks who were part of the team, and I'm always out of the loop on these grant proposals because we have a different team of folks who do that, and then they score them, and the cream rises to the top. And you were part of that cream that rose to the top. And I think one thing that attracted them was the work that you're doing in your Right Track program. And I wanted to turn to you, Mayor, to kind of give a little bit of a history lesson, because one of the reasons I like to make house calls across the country is figure out, what are some best practices that we can export elsewhere and maybe scale up through our own grant making. And you've really been a leader in this.
Well, I've been a leader only because I've had great people that have that I've been able to take credit for their work. Catherine Pinkert is one of them. Catherine, if you could wave. She's leading our Right Track effort right now. So historically, a lot of cities have youth summer jobs program. We know it's important to give that first experience. Over a third of our youth are unemployed, and we know how important those extra wages are for families just to make it through. So we knew that between career readiness and the assistance that having a job can provide for our families, that really stepping up how we approach this was going to be important. Mike Hom is our Parks and Rec Director, and he has historically had the bulk of the Youth Summer Jobs program, but it was really about getting kids out and just, that first work experience, but no path towards an integrated career approach. So one of the things that we borrowed from the best practices that we saw, but have taken it to a different level, to really integrate with Genesis Works an approach that gets that first job experience, maybe working with the Parks and Rec Department, where they're working in the planting flowers or working in the park somewhere, and then the second year they would work in a company with the goal towards in the third year they would be really integrating technology and IT learning and really building a career skill set that would be really valuable to an employer and getting them interested in some of the programs, for instance, that they could be taking here at St. Paul College. So we think the response has been overwhelming. We have had great corporate partners like U.S. Bank, but a lot of just folks in the stepping up to be a part of it from the foundation community. Chris Tolbert, our city council member there, has had a youth summer intern. I don't know, Councilmember Brenmo, have we gotten you to get one yet? No choice. But it really is all sectors of the community. So it is fledgling, but growing very quickly, and just has been, the response has been tremendous, and I think that the endless possibilities of what we can create.
And I do want to acknowledge the work of Genesis Works that you mentioned. We had an event at the White House a while back, and the whole country got to learn about Genesis Works. And so, again, another example of a gem here in St. Paul that the nation could learn from. So thank you. Well, the time has come, Carlita and William. Who wants to go first? I think this is all about students. And Mark, I'm going to give you that same question, if you don't mind, too. So what do you want me to tell the president about these investments?
As they say, from your mouth to the president's ears.
That's right. Okay. Carlita, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay.
One thing that I will vaguely say to the president is that as youth, you know, I feel most of the time we are kind of forgotten, you know, so I would just let him know that we are capable of bigger and better things that we can do. For example, you know, just the Right Track program overall, it was a great experience for me. So not only are we the future, but we are also now. So I feel like, you know, just vaguely more opportunities for us to actually show that we can take something and excel with that. Because I will be moving on to Genesis Works this year from the Right Track program. So that's a perfect example of excelling, you know. So that's one thing I would ask from the president, is just to think about us, you know.
The person to your left is beaming right now. I'm a trial lawyer, so I'm trained to watch body language. The person to your left is beaming. William, I'll start by saying the person to your right is also beaming. And the person 3 persons down to your right is pretty happy herself. So.
Well, all I have to say on it really is leading off of what Carlita said, with the fact that we are the present, we're the future as well too. And so we do need the skills and opportunities, as many as we can get now, so that we can be prepared for our future. And that is something to keep in mind as well. And it's always great to have as many opportunities and different learning sessions as we can, because the kids that go to those are the ones that will succeed, and even most of the ones that don't, because they learn off of the ones that are going to those sessions. So
Great. Well, thank you for sharing. Mark?
Well, sir, I would say to him that I believe out of all the opportunities that we provide for individuals out there, that education is the #1 thing that we need to be paying attention to. It's not only does it help folks in the economy that we've gone through in the last 5 to 7 years, but it also gives them, forgive me, but it teaches them how to fish. And it gives them an opportunity to do it from themselves and to continue on from that point and better themselves over the course of the next 40, 50 years of their lives, which helps us all in the long run.
Great. Well, you know, the federal government gives out a lot of grant money, all the different agencies, and we hope that it makes a difference. The president doesn't get up every day to announce every dollar of money. That would be his whole job, because so many different agencies give out money. But the day that we gave out this Youth Career Connect, the person who announced it was Barack Obama, because he so believes in what you said. And part of what he said, I wrote down because it kind of resonated with me. You know, we got to do everything we can to make sure that every single young person can have that aha moment. The light bulb goes off, and suddenly you're not just studying because your mother, your father or some other family member told you to, or your teacher told you to. You're studying because you know you got something to offer and you found something that you feel passionate about. And I'm watching the passion meter go up as you guys get the opportunity to experience things, and that's exciting. So I challenge you to love every job you've ever had. I have, and I feel lucky for it, because happiest is the person whose job is his or her hobby, because then you never have to work a day in your life. He doesn't work at all, because I can tell. I can tell, because he likes what he's doing. She likes what she's doing. Crystal likes what she's doing. And this mayor shouldn't get paid at all. He likes what he's doing most of all. And I want to thank, and again, budgets are moral documents. They reflect the priorities and values of a community. And I want to thank all the elected officials here for their support, because that's what it's all about. When someone tells me who's elected, I care about something, my immediate action is I'd like to see it reflected in your budget. Tell me that you care. Well, that's the most vivid manifestation you can give, and helping folks like this guy, that seems to me like money well spent. Thank you.